Welcome back to Gordon's Views and Reviews, where we look at everything from world politics to how my grass is growing. Today, I'm going to look at something that has the attention of the world, and that is the so-called Freedom Convoy that has occupied the streets, the downtown core of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, for the past 3 weeks at least. Their most talked about demand is the end of all COVID vaccine mandates. This started when every province in Canada was within 6 weeks of ending all mandates on masks, on vaccines. They especially want the mandate for truckers crossing the US-Canada border to be vaccinated. I'm not sure why they think Canada can change the requirements to enter the United States, but they certainly seem to. Their other, less talked about demand is that they meet with the Governor General of Canada and the Senate of Canada, that the recently elected government be dissolved, that they form a citizens' coalition and with the Senate and Governor General run the country. As I stated, all mandates at the beginning of this, 3 weeks ago, were within 6 weeks of ending virtually all of the mandates. So what are they really after? The leader of this group, the president of Freedom Convoy 2022, Tamara Lich, is or was the leader of a separatist party. And yet she goes on about how much she loves this country and how she's here fighting for the freedom of all Canadians. I'm not sure I believe that one very much. To accomplish these goals, they have occupied downtown Ottawa. They have parked their big rigs on Wellington Street, which is the street that covers about 4 blocks in front of the Parliament of Canada. They have blocked roads leading up to it. So there are 4 streets leading up to it. And some of these are residential. They have been running their engines nonstop for several weeks now. They have been blowing their horns nonstop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People downtown who live in the area, well, you can imagine if someone's sitting under your window running a diesel engine 24/7 and blowing their horn. Despite an injunction against these people blowing their horns 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they continue to do it. They have been running their engines nonstop, sounding their horns continuously. They have been intimidating and harassing passersby, demanding to know why they are wearing masks. They've been stealing food from homeless shelters and parading around with racist banners and flags and placards, all the while claiming that they are fighting for freedom for all. Yet, they don't seem too keen on giving the residents of Ottawa any freedom. They don't respect the freedom of anyone other than themselves. They routinely enter businesses maskless, where there are clearly posted signs on the door saying a mask is required. They enter these businesses maskless in the hopes of provoking a confrontation. In one incident that my wife was privy to, a very large maskless man entered a coffee shop. When the manager asked him to please put on a mask, hovering over this woman, he's twice the size she is, He said, "You can't ask me that. You're not allowed to ask that." In another incident, an acquaintance of my wife was working in a coffee shop. They walked in demanding free food. When she refused, they started calling her all kinds of names. She's of mixed ethnicity. And intimidating her, demanding to know why she was wearing a mask, trying to remove her mask. At the same time this has been going on, there's been a blockade of a border crossing in Alberta. Their demand in Alberta was repealing all of the COVID mandates. The premier there acquiesced and repealed all of the mandates. The truckers then said, "Well, we're not going anyway." Once again, I think this reinforces my conclusion. Their main purpose is not the vaccine mandates. I think that is just an excuse to rile up some people who are certainly and understandably tired of all that COVID has brought us. I think everybody's tired of that. But just because you're tired, I mean, it's like my son when he was 4 and we were on a long car trip, long being anything more than about an hour. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Well, wanting it to be over isn't going to speed it up at all. The other aspect of this is that these are unvaccinated people. They are opposed to the vaccine, and the mandates they want lifted are there because people aren't vaccinated. These people insist they have no choice, that their freedoms are being infringed. I have a question for any one of these people. I would love for someone to answer this. What freedom have you been denied? What freedom has been taken from you? If you work crossing the Canada-US border and all of a sudden you need to be vaccinated to cross that border, you have a choice. You can get vaccinated and cross the border, or you can decide, I'm not getting vaccinated. Nobody's going to force you to get vaccinated. Start doing something within Canada. You have the choice. No one has denied you the choice. No one at any point has said you have to be vaccinated or else. There are options. Just because you don't like the options you're given doesn't mean you've lost any freedoms. It's ridiculous. The organizers of this always insist this is a peaceful protest, a legal protest. I don't know what world they live in, but in the real world, parking your vehicle in the middle of a street and blocking the intersection for several weeks is not legal. Sounding your horn 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is not legal. They claim that the racist flags, the racist slurs, the racist incidents that are reported daily are a fringe element. They're outliers. They're not part of the convoy. One of the leaders of the convoy is a known white supremacist. Enough said. There are daily reports of people being intimidated if they're anywhere near these truckers, these protesters. On the weekend past, two grocery stores downtown were forced to close because of truckers stealing, protesters stealing, of them intimidating customers. The stores closed. The major downtown mall has been closed since the beginning of this. 80 stores or something closed. We're into 3 weeks now. These people claim that they have come to Ottawa to get the mandates lifted. The mandates they want lifted are under provincial jurisdiction, not federal. They should be protesting at the provincial capitals, not the federal capital. The federal government has no say in the provincial mandates. The mandate requiring people, truckers, entering the United States to be vaccinated is not something the Canadian government can control. If you want that lifted, protest at the American Embassy or go protest in Washington. In a video released by the leaders of this protest, this occupation, they said that the only reason they were still here in Ottawa is because the majority of Canadians want them here. The day before that statement, before that video, several polls were released that showed between 66 and 80% of Canadians want them gone and do not agree with what they are asking for. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to this rant. Stay safe. I hope to see you soon. Take care.